Now, yesterday, the 3rd of November 2025, was the day when the swearing in happened in Tanzania. Samia Suluhu Hassan was sworn in as the president of the Republic of Tanzania. And this kind of swearing in was different kind, not a typical one that you're used to. It had its own features. It was very special. I think it should be in the World Guinness Book of Records. It should be there because it was very special. Now, however, we have some 5 weird things which happened during the swearing in of Samia Suluhu Hassan because we followed that swearing in on media. Most of us followed it on TBC. TBC, that is Tanzanian Broadcasting Corporation. That's the only media house that was given the mandate to air the live swearing in because it's a government, it's a COP actually. Kenyan media also tapped from it and everyone was able to see and to follow up that swearing in. So it happened yesterday, even though people did not really like it. But now, what do you do? It is what it is. So we have 5 things which happened during the swearing in of Samia Suluhu Hassan yesterday at Dodoma. Number 1, we saw leaders sending congratulatory messages to Samia. Of course, if somebody has achieved something, people will come forward and send their congratulatory messages like, congrats, you done it. We saw African leaders, some of them sending their messages of congratulation, appreciating her for upholding democracy. We saw those messages flocking social media everywhere. They were doing rounds on social media. Our very own Mr. William Samuel Ruto was not left behind. He sent a message on X to congratulate Samia Hassan Suluhu, and that message did not sit well with Kenyans. Some Kenyans really camped under the reply section and told him, Mr. President, you made a mistake here. You're not supposed to say on behalf of Kenyans. Say on my behalf, I congratulate you, Samia Hassan Suluhu, for winning the election. But the president said, on behalf of Kenyans, I want to congratulate you. I want to express my gratitude. I want to express my appreciation. And Kenyans were like, what? What is this that we are seeing? You're not supposed to say on behalf of Kenyans. Which Kenyan are you talking about? We are not for that. Don't drag us into that thing, please. This is not what we signed up for. Forget about us. That is what Kenyans felt like. So that message was not taken kindly by the Kenyans. Then number 2 of the weird things that happened during that swearing in was the Tanzanian police terming the protesters as foreigners. And whenever the word foreigners is mentioned, then Kenya comes at number 1 because we have very many Kenyans in Tanzania doing business. And we appreciate, even me, I've gone to Tanzania very many times. It's just like my second home. So I bet many Kenyans are there. We have very many Kenyans who are doing various businesses there, who are there on trips and so on. Yeah, so police terming the protesters as foreigners, it raises a big question. And the police department went further and said some of these people are illegal immigrants. They are here without any proper documentation. And these are the people who went to the streets. And it raises this question, why did the swearing in ceremony taken to the army barrack? Because the Tanzanians are peaceful. They did not participate in the protests. Those were foreigners who participated. So why take that event to a kind of a guarded place in an army barrack? That is the question that really came up. Then number 3, the weird thing which happened. Africa has 53 countries. I stand to be corrected. I think last time I checked, there were 53 countries. And we only saw 4 presidents sending their congratulation messages, appreciating Samia for the good job well done, for garnering 98% of the votes casted. Where were the 49 presidents? We only saw Zambia's president who attended that swearing-in ceremony, We saw Burundian president as in attendance. We saw Mozambique president. We saw Somalia president, Mr. Hassan Mahmoud. Those were the 4 presidents that were seen. However, we saw our very own President Ruto sending Kindiki to represent him in that swearing-in ceremony. Of course, I don't know why Ruto missed that crucial ceremony, but he decided to send Kindiki. Museveni missed that swearing in, but he's a close friend of Samia Suluhu. Actually, what I can say is that Museveni is like a teacher, and the presidents of these other countries around East Africa are the students. That's what I can say. So there's no way Museveni could miss that. Museveni has attended all the swearing-in ceremonies in East Africa, especially for Kenya. He has never missed any. But this time round, he missed the Tanzania's swearing-in ceremony of Samia Suluhu. However, he made his message. He sent his message, and he decided that this message should sink deep. He sent his congratulatory messages, of which also Ugandans and other people did not feel well about that message. I think the news that are out there are that the election was a sham. The election was shambolic. The election was rigged 100%. That's the message out there. So people are disappointed. Like, why do you congratulate this person? And people have even gone further, terming her as a dictator. So anybody who loves Samia, anybody who appears to be a good friend of Samia, is not a good friend of many people who have the message that maybe the elections were rigged out. All these 4 presidents who attended, I think they share some mutual benefits with Tanzania. Most of them, if you check them, they are either bordering Tanzania or have some kind of an agreement, or they have an economic benefit, or maybe they have similar features. All these 4 presidents who attended. But the question is, where are the 49 presidents? Why haven't they talked? Where is Traore? Why hasn't he said something about that? That's the big question. Number 4, this thing made history, this swearing-in ceremony. That is the first swearing-in ceremony that I've seen that members of the public are not allowed to attend. No member of the public was allowed to attend this. This ceremony was attended by the who and who's of Africa. Most likely the invitees, people who were invited, or people who are known personally by Samia herself, are the ones who were allowed to attend this swearing-in ceremony. And that raises a big question. Whom are you going to lead if they can't attend the swearing-in ceremony? You know, the first bond that the president creates is when he's being, or when she's being sworn in, and members of the public attend. They're there to see her or him carrying the Bible or carrying the Holy Quran. That's the first bond. That's the first thing that people will like, the citizens. But here, that thing was done privately. Why am I calling it private? Because no member of the public attended. So it was just like a traditional traditional wedding, yeah, where only invitees may be allowed. Then the 5th thing that happened that looked weird is that the swearing-in ceremony happened at the army barrack at Dodoma. I've never seen such. I've never seen swearing-in of the president happening at the army barrack, happening at the most guarded area. Why? What was this fear? What are they fearing? Were they fearing that the citizens could stop that? And if they were fearing that the citizens could stop that, who are these citizens? And yet they said, through the police statement, that Tanzanians are very peaceful. Yeah, Tanzanians chose their leader democratically. What was this fear that they were trying to kind of avoid? Yeah, so that raises big questions. Why was it done in an army barrack, the place that is most guarded? And they were scanning. The army officers are the ones that ensure that nobody is entering in that swearing-in ceremony uninvited. So they really guarded that place and ensured that everything goes on well as planned. So those are the 5 things which happened during the swearing-in ceremony of Hassan, Suluhu, Samia. So what other things did you see? I know you followed that swearing-in ceremony as well. What other thing did you see happening that did not sit well with you? Please, the comment section is open. You can drop your comments there, share your thoughts, and I'll try as much as possible to reply to all those comments. See you again on the next one. Bye bye.